there, clear skies, and all the action should be held with throughout the drivers. It won't be dictated from crazy weather today. And we're getting ready to head out to the track here in just a moment. Like I said, Kane is getting some technical issues worked out on his end down there, and as soon as he's able to, he will join us. Looking at this season so far in the rearview mirror, it's been a wonderful, wonderful journey. I hate to use that word, but that's what it's kind of been. It's been a journey this season as we have started our 2015 campaign. And season one has been really a treat. We've seen Marlon McMullen on top of the leaderboard through this point, and looks like he's been doing well in practice throughout the week. I know that he's pretty happy with his qualifying efforts, as I had a word with him right before we went live. Be interesting to see just kind of how he runs today. Heard Vale Riches was another guy running really fast. Looks like John Emerson may be here today, guys, in the
Mick
race as
Cracknell
well.
was one, not to interrupt you, but Michael Cracknell. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was running real fast. I guess he won yesterday's race.
Yeah, he won last night, but he's starting fifth tonight.
Yeah, sounds like some people put in some good qualifying efforts over the last day.
Yeah, not bad tonight. We will have two different splits, 25 cars in the top split. And I'm real excited about that number there. Only two splits, but two large fields of cars. Instead of the average 13 to 15 cars, we're going to be running 25 in the top split. And that makes it really fun for me. I really enjoy the higher number car splits. And I think it gives us a lot more action on the track. But I'm just now finally getting the sim loaded, so it's going to take me just a minute to get in there. I don't know how far we're doing on your end, Kane, but that voice you heard pop in there was Jim Davey. I didn't get a chance to introduce him, but Jim, welcome to the show as well, sir.
Glad if you want, I can give you a quick rundown on the grid since I'm already loaded up.
You go right ahead, sir.
All right, we got John Emerson on pole with the 25.7, followed right behind him Ethan Griggault. Marlon McMullen is in third, Vale Rich is fourth. Michael Cracknell having a good run last night is fifth, Corey Preston sixth, David Moore seventh, Nigel Baines eighth, Jason Dixon ninth, Tony Alters is in 10th. Following that up, you have Luke Powell 11th, Christian Thilo Zuck in 12th, Tony Klustrom in 13th after a good run last night with a tragic ending. Matt Trotman is 14th, Rory Rindrum 15th, Ryan Shelton 16th, looking to improve from last night's performance, Adrian Hunter 17th, Mark Peter Dean 18th, Victor Tanaka 19th, Caleb Jordan 20th, Dale Nish is 21st, Bill Jones 22nd, Sanchin Dalal at 23rd, Clint Vigas 24th, and Stanley Phillips will be 25th.
Maximum size split tonight.
It is. It's great to see. Last night we had pretty small fields because we ended up with, I think, 26 drivers. We had two really small fields. So this is going to be a lot of fun. This car and this weather settings and this track is so slippery on the first lap. And the slowdowns are very easy to come by with the chicanes. I was mentioning Tony Klusterman last night. He was running third. He was actually right behind me at the very end of the race. But the very last lap, the very last chicane, he cut it a little bit too much, got a black flag penalty, which he could not serve before crossing the start-finish line, and it gave him a big penalty.
That's good too. So, yeah,
all right, we're getting ready to start getting gridded up here at Circuit Zolder, and John Emerson, as we were told, on the pole, and really looking forward to seeing what he's going to be able to bring today in his Holden. Beside him, it'll be Ethan Griggault, a name we haven't heard much of, but a big up-and-comer in this series, and I'm telling you right now, he is going to be a force to be reckoned with in the near future. And you could almost say and argue the future is now for him. And you're going to want to keep an eye on this number 9 Holden. It is really going to be fun to see what Ethan Griggault can bring to the race today. Also, guys, looking around at some of the action, we're ready to go. These guys are all lined up. The engines are revving up. Let's go racing at Circuit Zolder. Let's kick it off. All right, cars getting wide. We got about 4 wide back, about 3 rows back. It's a SDC Motorsport car making it around. And another one, a car's Up in the front, it's Greg Galt who jumps out to the lead ahead of John Emerson. On the inside of Emerson is Marlon McMullen. He's going to try to make that inside line work, and it'll work to his perfection. He'll jump into second place momentarily. Here comes John Emerson now. He'll try to get up around Marlon, but it's going to be tough. Oh, he gets the back end really loose early, just as we heard in pre-race sessions. This is going to be a slippery first lap.
Towards the mid-pack, got some field side-by-side coming up towards the first chicane. That just does not work normally. It slows everybody down. It's going to cause a big traffic jam behind them.
All right, heading down into the second chicane now are the leaders. I'm really interested in what's going to happen right here. Starting in the fourth position right there where things start to get a little crazy. Michael Cracknell right now and his SDC teammate trying to chase down Vale Riches there. And they're doing a good job at the moment. And looking up ahead, and John Emerson is now back right on Marlon McMullen. The battle for a second is on. And this front two, while they're going at it, our leader is Ethan Greg Galt, and right now he has got a nice little gap he's building. We're starting to get another good battle, and the battle for fourth place is starting to heat up. And that is a really good run. Michael Cracknell is coming up on Vale Riches there, and that is going to be a big one here shortly. Back and just behind him in sixth place is Corey Preston. Tony Ottridge coming up behind him. Then there's a three-car battle behind them with Jason Dixon in 8th, Christian Thilo Zook in 9th, and back in 10th it is David A. Moore in the GTI Ford Falcon. Some of the guys running a little bit of wide out of 3 there, but no trouble as it's single file pretty much all the way through the field. And they are officially on the middle of lap number 2.
I gotta tell you, JD, I am extraordinarily disappointed with the cameras here at Zolder. There wasn't a custom camera pack for me to find for Zolder, and these cameras just are not that great.
No, they're really not.
Every time I turn around, it's going behind a tree, and it's pretty frustrating.
Especially the start-finish straight, whether it's behind a building.
Man, I wish that I have a custom pack that I did, but they're not even that good. It's just something I improved from the stock ones. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. Not the best camera pack we've had.
I gotta say, I went back and looked at the start again. John Emerson just had a horrible start. And at the same time, Marlon McMullen, who was starting in 3rd, just shot out of a cannon. So I gotta say, the start, the action time is everything. That's all right.
Tony Klusterman almost lost it there. He's trying to make his way around Sanjin Delilah, and a great battle for position 21 here. And I thought that Tony had him, got the back end really loose there, and did a nice save there. It looked worse than it really was as I went back and looked at it again. Just the way the camera angle I had, looked really rough. How about that livery on Sanjin Delilah? Really, really liking that Red Bull black and it's like a charcoal gray and black Holden livery there.
Is it the same one that's on Marlin's? Is that the same one you're showing for Marlin?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, that is a
fantastic.
cool. I just got a side view. That is a pretty awesome looking livery. No wonder it's so popular.
Yeah, no, it just caught my eye. A really good looking one. Got a good battle going on right here behind Jason Dixon. It's Christian Thilo Zook there in the battle for 9th and 10th there. That's a really good one. David A. Moore, he's got his hands full right now. The rearview mirror's all full of Nigel Baines in the sim pit holding there. The number 7 car of Nigel Baines creeping up through the field. Nigel started 8th in the grid and is now in 11th, so fell back a little bit, but he's starting to get back on the ball. The Welsh driver starting to look on the inside of David Moore, and there is no daylight to be found. There's a Holden Ford battle on our hands right now, and it's a good one for 10th.
Getting back up
Nigel
to
was
the...
another one that had a bad start. Turn 1, he got kind of pinched someone down and kind of threw him sideways.
Back up at the front, Marlon has caught Ethan, and John has caught Marlon, and we got a 3-way battle here for the number 1 spot. This race is going to get intense as these guys, there's not a whole lot of space between them. It's going to be a big race here for the number 1 spot.
They're really going to have to watch these chicanes, though. I noticed Marlon's cutting a lot of the track, and if he doesn't watch, he's going to get a slowdown penalty.
Or worse, there's the possibility of hitting those huge corner markers that can really send your car flying.
In this track, they're not too bad. They look horrible, but the car actually goes over them pretty well. The problem is just it takes so long to clear black flags at this track. It's a lot like Montreal.
Yeah, circuit chills Villeneuve, and it can really kill a race in a heartbeat. You got to be ever so careful going over all these chicanes. It's kind of a similar track in that aspect, Jim. When you think about it, it has a similar feel to it. And this alternate route or alternate configuration, the only difference is that final chicane, we're not having to run through it like normal. So that's a good thing. I like that aspect of it. But right now I'm watching our leader, Ethan Grigalt, a fantastic run and showing from the up-and-comer here in the number 9 Holden. And right now I'm not showing a paint or livery for him. I'm going to try to refresh. But fun to watch from these two up front. Of course, Marlon McMullen in second there, our current points leader. And he would love to come up and try to grab another championship. In recent times, you know, he has 2 championships. He'd like to put it there. Now I get a livery for our leader, Ethan. And really, really cool livery at that. I hope it's up on the broadcast right now. The Ice Watch Holden. And that is a really cool looking livery. I like that a lot there on the number 9 car of Ethan Grigalt.
It is. Do want to welcome back John Emerson to the V8Supercars Americas Series. He's been off for the last couple weeks, having other things he had to commit to. But it's good to see him back here, giving the Americas race a shot. Vail Riches as well. It's been, Vail's been here for the last couple weeks, but just glad to see Vail back in the series too. After, I don't think we've seen him in the series very much until this season here.
I gotta say, Kane and JD, real quick. I just went back. Jason Dixon just had a moment in the second chicane with, I believe it was Tony Aldridge, and it was a really bad re-entry. Actually damaged a couple cars.
I've got to fix his name. I did put the new team in, but I didn't know he was already in there somewhere else, so he's still listed as the wrong team. But I can fix that, Jason. No worries.
I did pass it along, Jason, just to let you know. But yeah, unfortunately, Luke Powell in the GTI car kind of got caught up in Jason's re-entry and damaged his car a little bit, it looks like.
Right here, the battle for 6th place, and because they just went through that second or middle chicane, if you will, a really good job. And I got to speak up for Corey, as he has really, now he's on the inside, going to try to make a move, a real tight sliver. He's not going to be able to get the space that he needed. He would have ended up making contact with Christian there, and that would have not been good for either him or Christian Thilozuk. Good job to lay back from Corey. I just wanted to mention real quick, though, Corey has had an outstanding year. I think he's had a lot of growth in his racecraft. He's, just a little bit different than what he was before the injury. I don't know if him actually getting that hand injury. Here he goes on the inside, a real aggressive move from Corey. There is contact, and Christian will have to lay back as Corey does make the pass. Minor contact from a side swipe there, but wasn't nothing major. Minor contact, no damage to either car. But Corey Preston will move up into the 7th position. And there's another one
that
right
being
there.
Said, though,
Here comes on the
right
back on
at
the rebound. Here he comes on the inside. Let's see what happens. Another one. Christian Thilozuk had another chance and was not able to make the rebound. Boy, I thought he was gonna get the position right back there, guys.
That was close. Like you were saying, Corey has shown a lot of maturity this season. However, every now and then he does some questionable moves. I think the first move there was really good. He backed out of it, but then the second one, I think he probably could have backed off a little bit and gone through there cleanly. That being said, it is V8 Supercars, and there is contact.
That's what I was about to say. You know, I don't think he intentionally got into him there. I think that because it was such a slight contact, I think that he thought that he could have made it through there without any problems. He just had that much momentum, and the car slid into him a little bit. But he's got his sights set on the car in front of him right now. That's Tony Ottridge in the number 3 Shell Ford Falcon. And Tony Ottridge, a guy we haven't talked enough about, former V8's America's champion, and he is really looking good right now. Of course, he's in 6th place, but he's just got a smooth pace right now. Times look good. He's got a ways to go to catch Michael Cracknell, and unfortunately...
Hey, JD, hate to interrupt you, but battle for 2nd and 3rd is really heating up. John and Marlon are side by side coming up towards the 2nd chicane right now.
Yeah, here comes John. He's going to work the inside. He'll catch it on the chicane and will make the pass. Good eye, Jim. Fantastic move from the
but
cars,
John gets loose. Marlon's going to have a run at him, I think. John's really trying to hold on to the rear end of it.
Yeah, he's holding on to that race line as strong as he can. He's not going to want to let that Red Bull machine...
Three-way battle right now.
Yeah, here comes Vale on the inside, and now Vale's going to get around Marlon, but will it stick? It's going to come down to this turn. And it does for the moment. Vale Rich is going to make his move and pop up into that 3rd position.
Oh, that could have been a course cut right there. Marlon's got to watch that. That final chicane is so easy to cut because it really is. There's a small line.
And he was so close to the bumper.
See.
He was so close to the car in front of him. I don't think he could hardly even see the apex of the turn there.
Oh, here we go. Marlon's got a good run coming out of that corner. Looks like John and Vale are both having trouble holding on to the rear end of their cars right now. What this is doing is it's letting Ethan just run away from him, though.
And Vale Rich is got his hands full right now, boys. He is really trying to hold on to this 3rd position. This is a podium battle going on right now. And I'm telling you what, Marlon McMullen had given it everything he has for that Red Bull Holden. And he had a slight slip up there, or I believe he would have had a shot at getting around him through that chicane. He's going to have to work back just to get it back. He's only a car length back. And here he is. He's already chewing back down that lead. I mean, that gap. Also, look who's coming up in the rear back there. Michael Cracknell. He's starting to come into the picture a little bit. So we'll keep our eyes on this number 6 Sim Pit Holden and keep our eyes on old Crackers. Boy, Ethan Griggault out in the lead right now and is running his race. And boy, I just want to thank you, Ethan, for making me sound smart from the pre-race ceremonies. I called him, the future, but man, right now he is the present. He is really doing it.
Ethan's a driver I haven't heard a whole lot about. Has he been in other splits? Has he been running in the 2nd split?
I don't recall.
I have just
look it up.
I have just heard others mention his name, and that's the only reason that I had heard. I had heard that he is the real deal, and that he was a fast up-and-comer. But that is about as fast as it gets. As soon as I hear about him, like 2 or 3 days later, here he is. And I'm trying to remember who I was talking about.
Well, let's take this opportunity to welcome Ethan to the broadcast. In the top split of the V8 Supercars Americas. This is definitely the first time that we've had him here in the broadcast that I can remember.
Welcome him. He's welcoming us, boys. Look at him. He's out there. He's the show. I mean, he is the show right
Nearly
now.
6 seconds ahead of John Emerson. So that's a fantastic effort from Ethan.
I'm just doing a quick look through right now. He's not in the series standings at all, so I think this is his first race with us.
Oh, well, it's definitely a really, really impressive run so far. Now, we are on lap
Corey
number
Preston
11.
side by side with Tony Aldridge now coming into the turn 1. Tony did get out ahead, but Corey has caught him. He's putting on serious pressure here, and Corey's definitely going to start making the move for this 6th position before you know it.
Lap number 11 of 25, guys. Keep that number 25 in the back of your mind, as 25 laps all we're running here today in this heat run here at Circuit Zolder. And very important to just kind of keep that. This race will get out from under us in a hurry.
I do want to take a minute to apologize
Tony
for the
just got
internet.
loose. Corey's having a run on him.
For the internet connection here tonight. It keeps giving me a drop packet warning, and it's showing me my bit rate. Internet's running a little slow tonight. Corey's around sideways into the grass.
Got a little too eager on the gas.
He's got to be careful getting back on, guys.
He is right on the racing line right there.
Tough break right there for the number 8 Apexy Ford Falcon of Corey Preston. And you saw it right there, Kane. Sorry, Corey interrupted you there. I know he didn't mean to. Corey did not want that to happen. Oh, man.
You know, the bad thing about Corey is we seem to always have the camera on him, and he just seems to be the victim of the commentator curse a lot. It seems like every time we got the camera on him, something ends up happening.
Gotta say, Marlin's actually starting to fall back a bit, and he's gonna have to look out for Michael Cracknell coming up behind him.
Yeah, Marlin may have had to really have been pushing hard the last few laps with John and Vale. He may have got his tires a little wore out there.
Adrian Hunter really starting to make a move. I know it's back in the field a bit, but he's got his way up to Victor Tanaka, and he's trying to make another move up. Of course, as soon as I bring that up, Victor puts the dadgum nitrous boosters on and puts a little bit of a gap in between the two. But for a minute there, it looked like Kimmy's Rural Fencing Holden there was going to make his way up around this Mobile 1 hold. Just couldn't get it done.
Are you guys hearing me okay?
Oh, yeah, we're
hearing you fine, buddy.
I got to say, this is about the point of the race where these guys have been pushing really hard, and their tires are probably overheated. They're starting to slide around a lot. They're really going to have to really dial it back a little bit if they want to make it to the end.
Guys, I agree 100%, Jim, but take a look right now at the number 7 car in the 7th position. That is Nigel Baines in the sim pit. Holden right there, and Nigel Baines, we talked last time I mentioned he was back in 11th, and here he is. He started 8th, fell back to 11th last time I brought him up. He's worked his way up to 7th place. He has really good pace, especially for this time in the race. He's continuing to move forward. Just how much further can he go? You got to think, it's only lap 13 of 25. You got to think that Tony Ottridge up there in 6th could be a threat. Or the other way around, Sanjin could be a threat to Tony Ottridge if Tony's not careful. In fact, he is in the rearview mirror at this moment. Another good battle, Michael Cracknell, as you mentioned earlier, he has caught up to that Red Bull machine of Marlon McMullen, guys, and it is all here. It is right there, bumper-to-bumper action through the middle chicane here at Circuit Zolder, and here it is on lap 13. Could we see the pass coming up soon? As right now, Michael Cracknell coming up all over it. Here he is going to look for some daylight on the inside. There's nothing there. He's going to have to be very patient to make this pass happen. And, Marlon is a tough guy to get around. If you ever watch, he makes it so difficult to get around him. And it's not necessarily him blocking. He just holds the race line so well. All right, here it is, side-by-side action. Let's see if he can get it. Not enough momentum right there, and he's going to have to hold back and hope that he gets a really good opportunity. And if he gets it, it's only going to be a small window of opportunity. He's going to have to capitalize on that chance because he's only going to get 1 or 2. Boy, good race right now. Good battle right here. The battle for 4th place continuing to heat up. And at the moment, Marlon McMullen will not let this position go. Tough run there from Sanjin back there. Still a battle going on between Victor
Here we go,
Tanaka.
Rory Windrum, Corey Preston. They were just touching each other going out of the second turn.
Yeah, that was
Sorry
close.
about that.
No, that's all right. That was close. Rory Windham, yeah. He was Now Corey taking off. He left that car behind, and Corey trying to gather as many positions as he can to get as many points as he can. He's back in. He's looking ahead right now, but he's just got that wasn't. I thought that was him too. You know who that was? That was
That's his
Dale
teammate,
Niche.
isn't it?
Yeah, that's Dale Niche. Have the same exact livery, and I thought that was Corey as well. That is actually Dale Niche, and I'm glad to see Dale out here. I feel like we haven't seen Dale in a long time. It's good to see him back out on the track and running in 14th right now. Make that 13th.
Yeah, you guys confused
coming
the
up
heck
fast
out of me. I
on,
kept
Ryan.
looking at Corey and not seeing Rory anywhere. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? You guys are watching a different race than me.
I think he's about to pass Ryan Shelton, to be honest.
He is. Corey is right behind Christian Thilo Zook, and he's got a little bit to work, but definitely in the realm of possibility, as Corey running a little bit faster than Christian Thilo Zook at the moment. So we'll see if he can catch him before this race ends. 10 laps to go, or about 10 and a half to go, depending on how you're looking
Adrian
at it.
Hunter side by side with the SP Tools car. That's going to be Victor Tanaka. Victor ends up on top of that little battle.
All right, guys, this battle heating back up. Michael Cracknell is really thinking about making this move around Marlon McMullen, and a great job out of that final turn from Marlon to get a little bit of space. Now let's see if it can be done. Let's see if this Sim Pit Holden can get around this Red Bull machine.
Oh, here you go. Cracknell's got a good run there.
Yeah, he had a great run, but there's no daylight for him to make a move. He's going to have to just see if anything. That's what I was saying a minute ago, boys, is he's not getting an opportunity. There's a good run, a great run. He's right on the bumper. Can he find any way around him? He got loose. Back in, got real loose there. Unfortunately, it's so tough. Marlon is an extremely hard guy to get around, and he's going to have to keep working at it. It's going to be it's exhausting trying to get around a driver like Marlon. Well, I see smoke ahead, boys. What's going on ahead? There's trouble. It's Vale Riches. Vale Riches, let's get a replay, find out exactly what happened to Vale. It looks like car just lost control. And with that kind of smoke, that's a blown engine. It is, fellas. That is a blown engine. Race over for Vale Riches, who was in third place at the time of the engine failure. And that is very unfortunate for Vale.
It's lucky for Marlon and Michael Cracknell they didn't hit him, to be honest.
Boy, he got the quick toe in just in time. I mean, it was very close. Boy, that is
he just downshifted just a little too far going into the chicane, and that blew the motor, and that's all she wrote.
I'm sure Marlon and Cracknell will be very happy with that, though. Puts Marlon up in the podium with Cracknell right behind it.
Oh, good battle right here between old guys here. Ryan Shelton has a rear view mirror, mirror full of Dale Niche, and a battle right there for 12th place, or make that 11th place. I'm sorry, yeah, to make that 11th place they're battling for. And Corey Preston has caught Christian Thilo Zook. They're going bumper to bumper. And right now the VIP Pet Foods Holden trying to hang on to 7th place until the end of this one. He's got his hands full right now with Corey Preston in the Apexy Ford Falcon. And a good run right there from Christian to get a little bit of daylight. I don't think it's going to last, however. As they come down into the chicane, Corey has been real aggressive through these chicanes, and it helps him there. He does put a little bit of that gap back down. He has made it back to within a car length, and he could possibly make a move with getting on the latter half of lap number 17.
Looks like Dale Niche has found a way around Ryan Shelton. But Ryan's not going to give it up. He's pushing hard to get it back.
Glad to see Ryan in the top split today. Last week we got to go on board with him a little bit in the with him being in the second split. Not set up to do it tonight, but I do enjoy watching Ryan's streams that he does. He streams all of his races here in the V8 Supercars America Series, and
they're
fun to
very
watch.
close going into one. Sorry about that.
And here comes Corey, guys. He's found a little bit of look on the inside. He will not be able to make an opportunity work there for him. He had a small window of possibility there and was unable to get on that inside of Christian there. Good
Another battle
there from Christian.
Back for the 16th position, Mark Peter Dean has caught Adrian Hunter. And I guess it's possible Adrian just got around Mark because Adrian's taken off. I just seen on the live timing there that they were really close. Adrian now starting to pull away from Mark. This is the first time I've seen Mark in the top split here on the broadcast show, so welcome to Mark Peter Dean.
Gotta say, it looks like Corey is a little bit faster than Christian through the chicane itself, but Christian's able to get the power back down a little bit faster.
Man, I'm still enjoying this battle from Christian and Corey, man. The battle for 7th place is still pretty hot. And Corey Preston with a little that damage on his Apexy Ford. It's a classic Ford Holden battle right here for 7th place. And it started lap number 19 right here, guys. Time's starting to become a factor in this race. Corey's going to start getting a little restless, as you see right here. He is. This is when Corey likes to make moves. He has almost touched that bumper of the VIP Pet Foods Holden. And here he comes. He's going to look to that inside. Let's see what happens. He doesn't have the speed. Good choice right there from Christian Thilo Zook to take that speed route over the inside, and it pays off. He stays true to the racing line, and it pays off every time for him. Good job right there from Christian Thilo Zook.
I gotta say just really quick, when we first ran this course with the V8s, it was with the original circuit, and everybody hated it. When next season they put it in the alternate, was Corey's trying to make another move. When they put it into the alternate circuit, everybody has loved it ever since.
Oh, it's exciting, man.
This really is one of the best tracks that we go to with the V8.
We've had so many great races this season. This season really has proven to be one of the best seasons here in the V8 Supercars America Series. The racing has just been top-notch, and lots of bumper-to-bumper racing. Everybody's really shown a lot of respect for each other, at least here in the top split. Broadcast split has really been some great racing.
Boy, really, really good
Here
showing.
we go. Corey's got a good run out of the chicane there.
A great showing from Corey Preston. He's going to look that inside, and hopefully it's a drag race down the front stretch here at Circuit. Zolder back in, gets really loose from the VIP Pet Foods machine, and now it's an opportunity for Corey Preston. Can he make this work? He swings to the inside, but the door is shut. He's not allowed access around Christian Thilo Zook just yet.
Tell you what, that was a good job by Corey. He locked up the brakes a little bit and slid it. He made sure not to make contact with Christian, and he really saved from having a pretty big incident right there.
Like you're saying earlier, he is starting to show a lot more maturity, and I think it's really helping him out.
He has calmed down quite a bit this season. He's been working with a couple other drivers, and that's exactly what they've been telling him is, calm down just a little bit, buddy, and you'll go a lot further. And he has. He's really shown a lot more patience this season, and it's proven well for him.
Yeah, I mean, Corey's a young guy. He's got a lot of racing ahead of him. And, you know, it's part of growing up as a racer. And that's... Oh, he gets loose, guys. Lots of trouble right there. He does get the car back under control.
Luke Powell's going to take advantage of that, though. Yeah,
you could kiss the battle with Christian Thilo Zook goodbye. And now he's got to worry about the number 17 car of Luke Powell in the GTI Holden.
Of course, that being said, Luke gets loose on the final chicane, too, so...
A couple cars that are unfortunately out of the race are on pit road. It's Vale Riches and Caleb Jordan. One Holden and one Ford sitting on pit road, unfortunately inactive in the race. And that's very unfortunate for both of those gentlemen.
Yeah, poor Caleb. He was trying real hard. Yeah, found out last week that Caleb's such a young he's only 14 years old. He's got to be the youngest driver we have here in the V8 Supercars America Series. And he shows such talent. Yeah, we're going to see him go places as he gets a little more time under his belt. He's only been doing this for a short little while, and he's really come a long way.
Boys, you get one of these young kids like this, and you know, it's almost like they're growing up with this and spending the seat time and the hours and learning. You just can see such a big future in not only sim racing but real world racing. They get on this early enough and get really good. Boy, next thing you know, they start going out to the real tracks and running karts and moving up through the ranks, and you can really see a dream come true. We've seen it several times before with some other drivers, and there's so many opportunities out there that used to not be there before the world of sim racing.
Having said that, we've kind of fallen away. Ethan Greg Galt is still leading this race. He's only got about 3 seconds over John Emerson, who seems to either be getting through traffic faster or if he's lapping faster. I'm not really sure. I don't think he's going to have time to actually make a battle of it because he's only got about 3 laps left.
I think, well, right now, last lap for Ethan Greg Galt was 127.2. 126.5, boys, for John Emerson on last lap. And that is unbelievable. Little lap traffic ahead for our leader. That's Tony Kloosterman he's got to look ahead to. Shouldn't be an issue to get around Tony. Tony's very respectable driver. But it's just such a narrow track at times, and it just makes you wonder. And here he comes. It's a good spot to get around Tony Kloosterman here on the front stretch. So no problem for leader Ethan. And we'll see what happens when John Emerson catches up. Will he have any trouble getting around when that add a little bit more space in between first and second? It looks like it may.
Tell you what, John's down to just 1.6 seconds back with 3 laps to go. We could see a battle here for the #1 position.
John was a second and a half faster on that lap than Ethan. Ethan was.
Yeah, John with the 126.7 on that one and a 128 almost flat for Ethan Greg Galt. So you're right, boys. It is closing up. Things starting to heat up. We could see a battle for the lead. And how crazy would that be if we saw our pole sitter, John Emerson, who has literally watched Ethan Greg Galt lead this entire race, and get up there maybe on like the final lap and take this bad boy away. He's coming in a hurry, guys. This is shrinking.
He is down to 1.2 here, so he's catching him. And with
Emerson has his car set up really well to run over those chicanes. He's very smooth over chicanes. I think that's helping him out right now.
He's here. I mean, he's here, and he's coming in. It's going to happen. It's only lap 23. Either Ethan Galt's got to find some speed, and this is the time when you take experience, and it really matters. We know John Emerson has the experience in big race situations, and that, my ladies and gentlemen, could become a huge key factor in this race. We do not know what kind of experience Ethan Greg Galt has in late race situations, especially in the V8 Supercar, and that is exactly what we have on our hands right here. Lap number 24 of 25, the white flag will be out this time by, and here comes Ethan Greg Galt with everything to win and everything to lose in this race. John Emerson right in the balance behind him. We're going to have a battle for the lead on our hands. Don't go anywhere.
John running in awful deep into that chicane and took it down to 0.9 seconds behind. So he's working hard. He's trying to catch him, but will there be enough laps? It's only time will tell.
Oh man, I mean, you're watching laps. I mean, it's going to happen here now or never. And right now, Ethan Greg Galt in a good position, and he's just got to stay confident, stay calm, and worry about the track. Don't worry about what's happening in that rearview mirror. You see a slight slide right there from the back end of Ethan, able to keep the car under control though, and that was a big save right there. I saw the back end slide on just a tad, and it doesn't seem to hurt him real bad as he's got one more. The white flag is out. We got one more to go. Will John Emerson be able to make the pass, or will Ethan Greg Galt get his first win in the V8 America Series, at least in the broadcast series that we know, here in the top split on our Friday night show? Here he is going around on this final lap. The ice Oh, man, he's got it. He's looking good right now, boys, but a long lap to go. And when you got a name like John Emerson on your tail, anything is possible. The Cars Colden of John Emerson giving it everything she's got, trying to get around Ethan Griggault up here. And this is going to come down to the final turn.
Got lap traffic up ahead. Hopefully it doesn't have any interference with this great battle.
Oh, man, and there's just enough space in these two where something could happen. You got to be so careful. Big chicane here, big part of this race. Here it is, John Emerson almost in contact reach. I mean, he's bumper to bumper, and now is when it gets really hairy. Coming around, we're on the latter half of the last lap here at Circuit Zolder. Ladies and gentlemen, Ethan Griggault in the lead, and he's only got just a little bit left in this thing.
He got loose.
He got loose, and it's going to allow a really close chance for John Emerson. John going to be able to come up and look at some daylight on the inside. Nothing is there. He's going to come down, one more chicane to go. And here it is. Who's going to become the winner at Circuit Zolder? It's going to be Ethan Griggault. They're going to go side-by-side photo finish, and it'll be Ethan who takes the victory. What a finish here at Circuit Zolder.
8/100ths of a second.
Goodness gracious. Golly.
Man, what an effort by John Emerson. I mean, great job, Ethan, but man, what an effort, a driving effort from John Emerson to finish that thing off.
Just want to point out, we still have some racing going on. Take a look at Adrian Hunter.
Man, I got to get a photo of that finish right there for the everything. That was fantastic.
Right now, Adrian Hunter is right behind Victor Tanaka. This is going to be a good battle, too.
Yeah, Adrian's got right up side by side with Victor a couple times in the last couple laps. I've managed to get back there and take a look at this battle a few times. Adrian really working hard to overtake Victor here, and might have one or two more opportunities here going through this last two chicanes. So we'll keep an eye and see how he does.
All right, here it is, guys, the final one. It looks like it's going to be all Victor Tanaka here in the SP Tools Holden.
He had a bad exit, though.
Look
it's
on
going to be
the
another
inside.
close one.
Another
close finish.
Another close one. A good run there as Victor Tanaka takes 15th place. 16th went to Adrian Hunter in the Kimmy's Rural Fencing Holden. Good run there from him. And as everybody kind of follows up here, guys, I'm going to do a quick rundown of our results here at Circuit Zolder in a very action-packed week of racing. Of course, you just saw it. Ethan Griggault takes the checkered flag in what was one of the closest finishes we have seen in 2015. An unbelievable performance from a brand new name, at least on our show in the Ice Watch Holden. Congratulations to Ethan Hawke. And y'all, what a performance from second place driver John Emerson in the TTL machine right there. Just a fantastic job for him. In third, and our final spot on the podium, the points leader going into this race, that is none other than Marlon McMullen in his Red Bull machine. That Holden looked very good as well today. Really good to see him able to round out the podium when it looked like he may be falling back earlier. How about Michael Cracknell? Will take the fourth spot today. A great run from him in the Sim Pit machine. Really good performance. Tony Ottridge will round out our top five in the Shell Ford Falcon. A great run for him. Looking out the sixth place, it is Nigel Baines. We were looking early in the race to see where he could finish, and here he did. He worked his way up to a sixth place finish. Very nice. Christian Thilo Zook does take seventh in the VIP Pet Foods Holden. Behind him, it was Corey Preston, even after his incident. How about that for Corey Preston to make it back to an eighth place finish? Luke Powell took ninth. What a performance from the GTI Holden. Lots of damage on the car and still comes across in ninth place. Good job, Luke. Rounding out our top 10 is Matthew Trotman, and a great run from him and his Ford. Dale Niche able to take 11th place today, guys. And behind him, Ryan Shelton. We saw that battle earlier. Ryan takes 12th. David A. Moore takes 13th. 14th went to Rory Wyndham. Victor Tanaka takes 15th with Adrian Hunter in 16th. A very close finish. We saw that right here on the show. And in 17th went to Mark Peter Dean. Sanjan Dalalik unable to really get his race the way he wanted today, finishes 18th. Tony Klusterman takes 19th, and Phil Jones will take 20th. 21st goes to Clint Vigas. Vale Riches, unfortunately, unable to finish the race today with a blown engine, takes 22nd. Caleb Jordan, 23rd. 24th, Jason Dixon. And, of course, running out our 25-car field is Stanley Phillips. And, guys, we just got through watching a treat, wouldn't you say?
I would. We do have the results for the second split up also, if you'd like to hear them real quick.
Take it away.
Absolutely. Go a bunch of new names here. Matthew Ross Monroe is the leader. Andrew Kennedy came in second. Paul Chitucci came in third. Alexander Hebert fourth. Dale Green fifth. Julian Medor sixth. Adam Highland seventh. Trevor Young eighth. Justin Woolwine ninth. Brad Charlton 10th. Stephen Jenkins 11th. Peter Simons 12th. Layla Wilson 13th. Shane Brook 14th. Tony Lynch 15th. Armando Edwards 16th. Chad Dalton 17th. Greg Von Herode Parker, sorry if I said that wrong, 18th. Nick Stoller 19th. Rise Parker 20th. David Damboise 21st. Christian Kendall 22nd. 23rd was Christian Sweat 24th. And final position was Brett Punkari. Whole bunch of new names there.
Man, like to see a lot of those new names.
Yeah, it's great stuff. 25 and 24 cars in the two splits. That's a great turnout.
Oh, fantastic results in the top split. Sounds like the second split had themselves a good run as well. And it's about that time, guys, to go ahead and kick off the Get Dirty MX post-race show as we get ready to bring you driver interviews. And we also get ready to talk about lots of big things. One thing I want to bring up before we kick off driver interviews, I do want to let any of the viewers out there know, I meant to bring this up earlier. I'll go ahead and bring it up now. As you have heard in previous broadcasts, we're getting ready to start our all brand new show, all jacked up as we get ready to attack this brand new NASCAR season in the real world of auto sports and racing. And we would like for your help if you guys, anybody out there is interested in helping out with any type of web design or logo design, anything, that you would like to contribute, or if you just have any questions, we would love your help. Anybody out there that is interested, please feel free to contact me at my iRacing. Just send me a message at JD Smith, or you can send it to Kane at Kane Craft, and we would love to hook up, and we'd appreciate any help, and it goes a long way as we get ready to tackle our new show. It will air its very first episode next week, so be looking out for that. And let's continue our Get Dirty MX post-race show, guys. Without further ado, let's bring in the guy that come across in a photo finish right there in one of the closest finishes of the year. Let's have a word with John Emerson. John, welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show. How are you tonight?
Hey, JD, Kane, Jim. That was, wow, what a great fun race. That was really good. Really enjoyed that.
Well, let's just look at it, the big picture here. Obviously, we saw a rough start from you, and then we saw you fight back and almost win this race at the very end. Tell us a little bit about that start.
Yeah, I didn't practice my starts as I probably should have, actually. Yeah, everyone around me got an absolute flyer, and Ethan's just come out of nowhere. So I haven't really heard of him until this week, and yeah, I saw his quality time. I was like, wow, this guy's quick, and yeah, he got an absolute rocket of a start, and
Yeah.
Marlon went past, and I thought, oh geez, and my teammate's coming up behind me, what's he gonna do? And then yeah, and then it was just a bit of a battle there. I didn't even see Marlon hit the wall. He said he hit the wall somewhere, but that's where he lost a bit of speed, and yeah, I thought he'd cleared me into that chicane, and we sort of rubbed panels there, and that let Ethan get away a bit, but yeah, I got past Marlon, and then that final little bit with Ethan there, I think he must have cooked his tires somewhere, and he went deep in that tight hairpin down near the end of the track before the sort of flip-flop bit, and I went deep as well, and I sort of blew him a chance, and yeah, just missed by that much, but yeah, it was good.
Well, and of course that finish, the closest finish we've seen yet in 2015. And that is one that I'm sure will be on highlight reels coming up. But fantastic finish there. You liked to got him, but how about it, man? Just a great performance.
Yeah, once I sort of cleared Marlin and got a bit of fresh air, the tyres calmed right back down, and I started getting into a rhythm and starting to hit those mid 26s. And Ethan was slowly coming back to me, and then we got into the lap traffic, and yeah, that last little bit through that chicane, I was like, oh, geez, I was getting close to my incident limits. I didn't want to cut the inside. And but Ethan did a great job. He held on really strong, and yeah, he deserves the win for sure.
Man, that was awesome, though. Second place finish, but man, what a race.
Oh, yeah, when it's races like that, second place is just as fun as first almost. I really enjoy that sort of stuff. That's why I turn up each week. So, yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to my mate Mick, who should be watching. First time viewer, I think, so hopefully you enjoyed it.
Oh, fantastic. Happy to have him watching the show. And yeah, big shout out.
You definitely,
cheers, fellas.
You definitely made it an exciting finish for him.
Yeah, I had to put on a show for him, and he might tune in every week now.
Well, we hope so. John, thanks for coming and having a chat with us, buddy. As always, we got more to come soon, and thanks for having a word with us.
Cheers, fellas. Keep it up.
Yes, sir. That's John Emerson, everybody. A fabulous performance from him tonight. Let's go in with the next guy on the finish. Let's have a word with Marlon McMullen, who finished on the final spot on the podium today. Marlon, welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show. It's good to see you, buddy. How are you?
G'day, guys. Yeah, not too bad. How about yourselves?
We are doing really good. A great race there. Just having a word right there with our second place finisher, John Emerson. Said you had a little bit of a bout with the wall. Tell us a little bit about what happened there.
Yeah, everything was really good at the start of the race. Had a really awesome launch, and I was just following Ethan, and he was really driving awesome. I've got to say, first of all, he absolutely was probably the driver of the field today. He drove really well, so good on to Ethan. So I was battling him hard, and I was putting the pressure on him, and unfortunately, I just had a little bit of a lapse, and I usually get pretty close to the wall on the pit lane, sort of front straight, and that time I brushed it, and unfortunately I brushed it so hard I sort of skimmed it for about 5 seconds, and it just started slapping against the wall. So I was lucky to pull it up, and I sort of had to analyze the damage I had, and it was really sort of stressful for the next couple of laps, and I just absolutely massively dropped off the pace. And yeah, John and Val probably were able to see that I was suffering some sort of problem, and they took advantage of it. And yeah, I was lucky because I sort of got used to it after they got by me, and Michael Cracknell was really starting to catch me, so it was really quite a stressful race trying to put in the best laps I could with such a damaged car. So really happy I got home with third. So yeah, can't believe it.
Yeah, man, a great run. And we were looking on today, and gotta love the new Red Bull livery on there. That was awesome. Looked really good on the car, and it was a great performance, man. Good job.
Yeah, I think the black mod disguised quite the heavily damage I sustained in the wall, but
Well, it was a really good performance. Another podium for you. Will definitely keep you up there in the point standings as we continue to move on through the season.
yeah, most definitely. Looking forward to Phillip Island. I don't usually have good luck at the track, but this season I've really enjoyed it so far. So hoping to make amends. Last season I had my best result ever there, so it can only get better, hopefully. So we'll take it week by week.
Oh, yeah, 23 laps around Phillip Island. We look forward to seeing it next week. Hang tight, Marlon. As always, we got loads to talk about on the post-race show. Hang with us, buddy.
Cheers.
All right, guys, next up, let's bring in Michael Cracknell. Had a wonderful performance today. Michael, welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show. How are you today?
Yeah, good, thanks, JD. Kane, how you guys going?
Hey, man, it's a wonderful day and a great race. Just got through with 25 amazing laps around Circuit Zolder, and you had yourself a well of a race, man. Started out with a big start and just kept chewing away, and ended up finishing just outside of a podium finish. Tell us about it.
Not much to really tell, really. I just filed in behind Val, and I ended up getting a slowdown, so I dropped back from him a little bit, and I noticed there was a bit of action up front. So, and then Marlon obviously had some damage, so yeah, I was able to sort of come up behind him, but I lost all that ground again when Val ended up sideways in the second chicane. I ended up getting another slowdown, so it was pretty hard to pick it back from there. But overall, it was a good race, and I'm happy with fourth.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, you should be very happy with fourth. A field of 25 guys here in the top split. a lot of good names, big fast rate guys in this split, and boy, performed wonderful today. You should be very, very impressed with yourself, and just keep that up, man. That's got to be very, very exciting.
Yeah, it was good to have a solid run after last week. Last week wasn't that great, but a couple of things I want to say. A big congratulations to Ethan. Yeah, he drove an awesome race, and yeah, he's our newest member to SDC. We just haven't got his paint yet, but yeah, he did well. And I just want to give a shout out to Michael Fulcher and Mark Anderson. They had a relative pass away early yesterday, and yeah, my thoughts and prayers are going to go to them too.
Man, fantastic. Well, sounds like you guys got a big name there, and up and comer in Ethan Griggault. He showed he had the stuff today.
Oh, absolutely. Like, yeah, he's been fast from pretty much Tuesday here. So, yeah, no, I was really happy to see him get a win. Perhaps for him.
Fantastic. Well, Michael, you know, it's been a pleasure watching you over the past few races. You have continued to climb up through the ranks here, and each week it's better and better. We really look forward to seeing what you have next week at Phillip Island.
Yeah, cheers, JD. Phillip Island's one of my favourite tracks, and it's actually a local track to where I live too, so I know it quite well. So I've got big expectations next week, but we'll see how we go.
Sounds great, buddy. Hang tight. We're about to talk to Ethan next, and hang with us. So we got some things we want to bring up later, man. Good talking to you.
All right, thanks, JD.
Absolutely. That's Michael Cracknell, everybody. Fourth place finish from him. Now it's time to have a word with our winner here at the race today. What a job from Ethan Griggault. Ethan, welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show. How are you, sir?
I'm pretty good myself, thanks.
Well, let's just say it from the get-go. I've never seen a name come in so quick and jump to a win that hot and that fast. How'd you do it, man? A great run.
You're right. It kind of surprised even myself. I started out the weekend. I was just on pace the entire time, thanks to Cracker's set, and yeah, it's just been good so far.
I would say so. Really and truly, what give us? I'm sure a lot of viewers out there are curious to know. You know, how long have you been driving the V8?
On and off over the past few months, but it's the last 6 or 7 weeks which I've actually been getting serious with trying to learn this car and its ins and outs. And I'm finding it very fun.
Fantastic. Yeah. Sounds like it doesn't even sound like you do have a natural ability with it. It obviously comes very natural to you, but very, very, very good performance today. And I'm pretty sure you know what a statement it is to be able to grab a win over a driver like John Emerson in this top split here in the Americas. That is a huge feat, and you should be very proud.
Yeah, thanks. You had my heart rate going up in the end, I can tell you that much.
That was my next question. How does it feel to be a part of probably the closest finish we've ever had on the Americas finish? I'm trying to recall a closer finish for at least for the win, and not the one. There's not one coming to mind right now. So that is definitely something right there. That is awesome.
Yeah. I had a good 5 seconds on Emerson running there for a while, but I came across some lap traffic, which I think took about 3 seconds out of me, so that wasn't too good. And then the last few laps, I had absolutely no front grip because I kept locking it up into the second chicane on the left-hand wheel. I just had absolutely no turn in, so on the last lap coming around the double right-hander, having Emerson right on my tail, just he could get past any time, yeah. I was shaking from that for quite a while.
I bet you were, man. That was an intense race, and it was extremely fun to watch. I mean, just for us, you put on a great show, and we're happy. That's the first time. Normally, when we have someone on for the first time, we just give them the oh, it's great to have you on the show. It'd be great to see what we see from you down the road. But here you come in on your first time on our show, and you win the race. That is quite an accomplishment, and We're glad to have you here. Now I'll give you that spiel. But yeah, we're glad to have you here, man. And we look forward to seeing you many, many more races out of you. And it's nice to meet you, man.
Yep, you too. And I plan to run many more races as well in the future.
Absolutely. And congratulations, as we just heard from Michael Cracknell, on signing with STC Motorsports. That is a wonderful group of guys, and I'm sure that you'll really enjoy your time there.
Yeah, it is. A big shout out to the guys at STC Motorsports. I wouldn't be where I am right now if it weren't for them getting me on TeamSpeak one night. So a big thanks to them for that.
Fantastic, buddy. Well, hang tight, Ethan. There's a part of our show we like to do after we got these last few interviews here, where we'll just discuss some of the things from around the week and all things sim racing. So hang tight, and we'll be having some more words with you soon.
Yep.
All right, everybody. That is your winner, Ethan Greg Galton. What a performance today. Next up, let's have a word with Nigel Baines and bring him in for a quick word. What a race from him. Running up through the field. There he is, my old buddy Nigel. Welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show. How are you, buddy?
Very well, JD. How are you guys, Kane?
Man, fantastic. It was a show. Was that not a show? How did you enjoy Circuit Zolder, buddy?
Still not really enjoying it for some reason. Loved it last time we were here, but yeah, no, I just really frustrated about getting tagged in turn one after such a good start, and then so tough to pass around here. But got gifted a couple of spots and chipped away, and yeah, not a bad result in the end, I guess.
Well, the way I look at it is, of course, you started 8th, and like you say, you got off to a great start, but then after you fell back, I looked up, I don't know how far you exactly fell originally, but I do know that when I first looked back, you were in 11th, and you fought all the way back for a 6th place finish, which is very tough. And I thought that you did very well rebounding.
Yeah, not too bad. Like I say, Corey, I think, spun, and Vale blew a motor. So I definitely got gifted a few spots, but I mean, it's pretty tough to keep it sort of in one piece around here. So yeah, I think it was either 11th or 12th after the contact, and yeah, chipped away. And I actually was starting to close on Tony there for a while, and then for some reason I made a bit of a mistake and upshifted to 6th in the final sort of kink chicane instead of dropping to 4th, and it meant I completely missed my turn in and everything, and lost that sort of a second or 1.2 that I just pulled back on Tony. So had to settle for the position, but yeah, not too bad. But congratulations to Ethan. I mean, just a fantastic run.
Boy, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's at great pace all week, and really put it together. That's awesome.
Yeah, what a place to have your debut race here at Circuit Zolder. It's just awesome, and come out and have a win. But still good to see you, Nige. It's always a pleasure. Hang tight, as you know, always. We got loads to talk about tonight, and it's just always good to hear from you.
Yeah, sounds good, guys. I probably got to run. I've yet to eat any food tonight, so I'm probably going to have to duck off anyway. But I'll keep the broadcast going and keep a check on what's going on.
Absolutely, buddy. Thanks a lot, everywhere, and always a pleasure.
Thanks, guys.
That's Nigel Baines, everybody. Good guy right there. Let's bring in Corey Preston as we got a chance to watch Corey. Corey, welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show. How are you tonight, buddy?
A little frustrated, I will admit that, but yeah, otherwise pretty good.
Well, we're glad to have you here. You had a really good race on your hands, and of course we saw that unfortunate incident there. Tell us a little bit about the run, man.
It was going pretty good, and then yeah, I just midway into the race I got a slowdown, and then I was battling with Tony, and then I half spun, and then yeah, I ended up behind a car, and yeah, it was just frustrating because I was slower and they just didn't know when to give up, so I got a little frustrated and my temper flared a little, and yeah, not the best race.
Yeah, well, you got to take them and move on. You know, we talked about your year so far, and although you take it a little bit of the couple of the unfortunate incidents, and really a lot of improvements have been made, Corey. And I think it's a time like this, and it's just me as a broadcaster. I'm not a driver coach or anything like that, but I think you should really try to focus on the positives of this season. I think it's been one of the most positive seasons of your sim racing career that I've been a part of.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right, man.
I also
just-
said in the broadcast that I think we might be giving you a little bit of the commentator curse. It seems like every time we put the camera on you is when things seem to go south for you. So next week we'll not even put the camera on you and see how it goes.
Yeah. No, don't stop putting the camera on me. I love my airtime. Just don't when you do it, just don't speak about me because yeah. But yeah, I was wondering if you've noticed something. I was actually wondering if you guys noticed something on the broadcast today. Huh. So you weren't watching Dale's
Oh, we
battles at
did
all?
notice that. Yes, we got a little
Yeah, we
confused there
noticed
for a minute.
Niche. In fact, we thought that was you. Jim actually had thought it was you, and then I went as far as to thinking it was you, and then me and him both about the same time realized that's not Corey, that's Dale. And then we had a good segment there talking about how good it was to see Dale Niche back out on the track.
Yeah,
and you,
me and Dale have decided to team up for the Premier Series. So
oh, that's fantastic, Corey. I'm glad to hear that.
I actually have to give a shout out to Michael Fulcher. He couldn't be with us this week because he had an unfortunate family tragedy, and I think someone passed away in his family or someone that he was close to. And you know, mate, it seems hard now, buddy, but yeah, keep your chin up, mate. And we here at V8's Online and the V8's community, and we will try to do anything we can to make you feel better, mate. So yeah, if you're out there, maybe watching the stream, Michael, we're thinking of you, buddy, and yeah, hope it all goes well, Michael, and yeah, you're in our thoughts, buddy, and my thoughts and prayers go out to you and your family, Michael. So yeah.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. My thoughts are with you as well, Michael, and hope to see you back next week. And just, yeah, death is just such a tough thing. You don't even know what to say. But thinking about you. We'll see you when you come back.
Well, I want to talk to one more driver here before we get into our subject tonight. Let's welcome Ryan Shelton to the Get Dirty MX Post Race Show. Ryan, you got a copy with us, sir?
Right here.
Oh man, how are you tonight, Ryan?
Probably the best I've been in a long time. I would say that after last night's race and the races that's been transpiring over the past week, it's definitely much better tonight.
Great, man. That's what we want to hear. Need you to come in after that, after a section, and kind of brighten us up for a minute. 16th spot on the starting grid, and just a really good run, Ryan. We got a chance to watch you tonight with Dale run there at the end. Finished 12th, a great run. And tell us a little about it, man. Tell us why you're doing so good.
Well, tonight, I just I started the race. Well, I just started I got on. I was like, you know what? I haven't had as much practice as I've had, for the rest of the weeks, due to my work schedule and whatnot. Came in, just qualified. I got a really good qualifying time with a 27.9. It was my personal best throughout the entire week. So, I was like, all right, I got this groove going. Everything's working fine. I got everything set up. And I just got into the race. I was like, you know what? If something happens, it happens. Whatever. I'll just go with it. And it was just from then on, it just went well for most of the race.
Yeah, I thought it went really well tonight, man. At the end there, we had a good view watching you trying to catch Dell there. I believe it was. Am I right on that, Kane? Who was that battle that we saw?
He was in a battle with Dale. I thought Dale was trying to catch him, but
That might have been it. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
It
Dale
probably
was.
wasn't Dale.
Yeah, it was. You're funny. It was Dale Niche was behind me most of the race. Because throughout the race, I had Rory Wincham right in front of me. Basically, a guy I'm battling against in the championships. I think right now, after tonight's race, I think we're about 2 or 3 points away from each other. I think it's about what it is. And so we're about 2 or 3 points away from each other now. But through the beginning of the race, I had him in front of me, and Dale Niche was right behind me. And Dale, I knew was faster, so I wanted to get around Windrum so I could go ahead and try passing, or go ahead and get ahead of him so I have Dale push back behind him and keep that spot. Because my whole thing was I wanted to finish better than 12th, because that's my best finish I've had in a Friday night split here at Zolder. So I went ahead and, I wanted to do better.
So close.
Yeah, and it would have actually been about a 10th place finish, but what had happened was I think it was about I don't even know what lap it was, about 15 or 16 or something like that. Second chicane, we hit I hit the left part of that second chicane, and hit the gas and just got it loose and lost about 3 seconds on Trotman, and I just wasn't able to make it up, and Niche was able to pass me then. So other than that, it was a great race. Could have been a 10th, but I'm happy with the 12th place.
Hey man, I tell you what, that's a very positive note moving forward. We go to a great track next week and head to Phillip Island. Well, Ryan, it's a pleasure talking to you, buddy, and a great run out there today. We look forward to hearing and seeing more of you in the near future, aka next week. So come back and see us again. And in the meantime, hang with us. We got lots we want to talk about tonight. We have some things. I think a lot of the guys got some things they want to bring up tonight. I know one thing I want to bring up to all of you while I have you in here is all of you know we've already brought it up for all the listeners. Now we'll bring it up for the drivers, and I won't mention it anymore tonight. But of course, as we've talked about in previous weeks, Kane and myself are getting ready to start our brand new NASCAR show, All Jacked Up, and we really need somebody to help out. If anybody would like to help out with any type of logo work or any website design experience and you're interested in helping out, just let us know. We would love to have you guys, anybody that would like to help out, come help out. Your input would be very, very well appreciated. And we would appreciate, yes, as Jim just typed down in there, we only have 1 week left before we go live for our very first show. However, none of this has to be done by next week. We'd like to get, we'll throw something together for next week, but we'd like something more concrete done in the near future. So anything that, anybody that would like to help, just let us know. And you can send us a message or talk with us after the show. But we'll move on from that. A lot of great things to talk about tonight. As I was asking down in here if anybody had any topics they want to bring up. Of course, iRacing just announced the NASCAR change, which I'm very excited for. I don't know how many of you guys actually run ovals, but we'll bring that up for a brief moment. And, of course, I was really excited to find out. Obviously, the NASCAR iRacing series is a huge success for the oval drivers to be able to run NASCAR's a mirror season of the real life counterpart and running at least 0.5% races. And there's a few that we run 100%. It is amazing, but we weren't able to have it in the past with the B and C class. That will change this year. We will be able to run the B Open and C Open with their real life counterparts, just like the NASCAR iRacing series. I am very excited for that. And I read a post. I don't remember if it was on Facebook or if it was on the actual forums, but somebody wrote, great for the oval guys. When can we get a series like this for the road guys? And that's a very good point. There are so many things that they could do for the roadside, but obviously it's hard because you would have to have 100% of the tracks for that series. But I still think they could do something like that, like an endurance series or something. I'm sure you guys have some thoughts on that. Anybody that would like to, anybody has their, say it now, forever hold your peace on racing.
What was the question?
We have these awesome series like the new NASCAR iRacing series for the B and the C class, and I read a post about, yay, we have all this, that's awesome, iRacing, that's great that you do that for the oval side. Why can't we do something like that for the road side?
Too many different types of series. Road racing's so diverse. You've got ovals, it's NASCAR or IndyCar, and well, IndyCar, they're just weird. That community, they're their own little group. We just don't talk about them.
What do you mean about IndyCar?
Oh my goodness, go to the forum anytime and look at the IndyCar forum.
I know.
They're horrible.
I shouldn't have even said it. I know.
They're horrible.
I raced one season with Indy guys. I did the Indy Oval, and wow.
Did you actually finish the season? I don't always say I'm going to, and I am do like 2 races and say no, I'm out.
Yeah. I mean, they're just a very unique group. Let's say that, and move forward. They're good guys. They're just very outspoken.
But no, the roadside, you've got endurance racing, prototypes, GT, weird little V8 Supercars.
But what is the crown jewel? And that's what I think they were posting. What it seems like iRacing does so much for the oval side. And to me, I may just be biased because I'm an oval driver and a big oval fan. I love road racing and I love the V8 Supercars. But to me, I kind of see it from maybe a road racer's side of view too, in the fact that what do they have big for road racers to look forward to? I know they came up with the Road Warrior series, so I understand. But fill me in.
Well, it's like,
what could they do?
Well, the problem is the top tier road car they have is a 2009 F1 car that even the people that run it in their Pro Series say it's a horrible car.
It is.
No offense, iRacing, but
right,
it really
no offense to iRacing.
And part of that's probably just because it's so technologically advanced. There's a whole lot of stuff with the car that iRacing just simply can't do.
Right.
So really, their top tier car is something
GT3
that everybody
now?
hates, and GT3 is like the most popular, but that's not everybody's cup of tea. It really is an acquired taste because it's pretty cutthroat. I've been doing that for the past few weeks, and those are cutthroat races. Then you've got your own little like niche groups like the Star Mazda. The people that run that love it. Or
I love Star Mazda. I think it's
exactly.
wonderful.
Or you got the roadside and the Delara. Everybody loves that runs it. Or the Radical SR8. The people that run that love it. Or
That's a great car.
See, like I'm saying, there is no one real
like NASCAR.
There's no one. I don't know, I guess you could say like career path that you get on the roadside. So everybody on the roadside has a different view of what should be the top series.
Yeah.
So I just don't think it would work.
Well, I think, and you just made a really good point, Jim. There's no career path because when you look at one career path, we look at oval side, that crown jewel is NASCAR, unless you want to race Indy Oval, and that's fine. Those are the two oval paths that you aspire to become an A-class driver. You aspire to run the Class A cars, the NASCAR stock cars, or the Indy Oval cars. That's it. But when you aspire to move up the road ladder, obviously Formula One would be their crown jewel, I would assume. But that's for open wheel. You also have your GT3 series. You have, like you said, all your niches. And that makes really good sense, and I like that. I like the way you put that. So that's kind of hard to. I guess a lot of it is culture.
Well, with the road racing, there is a lot of big races throughout the year and throughout the different niches, and each one of those big races. Yeah, each one of those big events is done through the Road Warriors series. So I think iRacing has done a good job with the Road Series. They've given the GT3 guys a means of racing a series, and they've done a lot to incorporate all 3 cars, and there are 4 cars now, and yeah, I think they're doing all they can, but there's just so much with the road series.
Right.
Yeah, I think with the road side, you know, there are a couple of like career paths, and like, you know, V8 Supercar series, the GT3 series, you know, they're already at the top of like your career path, because the way I see it, if you want to be an open wheel guy, your logical step would be to start off in a Mazda, go to the Skip Barber, transition up to the Star Mazda, then go to IndyCar, and then go up to F1. Where if you want to be a sort of a closed roof tin top man, you go Mazda, maybe the Caddy or the Kia, then you work up maybe to the Mustang, then you either split off into alternate tangents. So you either go from, say, like your Mustang or your Kia or your Caddy or whatever, you either split off left and go V8, or you split off right and go GT3. And I think that's where the roadside sort of stumbles a bit. There's nothing after that.
There's nothing concrete, yeah. That makes really good sense. And so I guess we kind of put a lid on that subject. I just wanted to bring it up momentarily because it was in the news this week for iRacing. And, you know, Jim wrote it at the bottom, so I was like, cool, let's bring it up. Because I'm excited about it. I'm going to run the C Series this season. Hopefully I stick true to it for the entire season with us having the new show and everything. I may get busy, but it's still, I'm going to make a valued effort to race every single race in the C Series.
I think I want to try to run the C Series as well, run the trucks, run
and
the whole
I would
series.
love to have you, Kane. That would be really exciting. I think
both
awesome.
of our I ratings are down there deep in the pit enough to where we might even be in the same split.
Yeah. Mine
You know,
is so low, though. They might have me to just run it by myself. I mean, it's that bad right now. I've got to get back out there.
Yeah, we'll end up joining. We'll be like the only 2 people in a split. And be like, what's going on?
I wouldn't have a problem with that, really.
You're
It'd be fun.
Your I rating isn't as bad as some, JD. I've seen a guy whose safety rating and I rating was, his safety rating was just a dot, and his I rating was 0.
Wow.
I've never
I
seen
didn't know that
before.
was possible. I thought they
Was
just
that you when
kicked
you
off.
started, Corey?
Oh.
Yeah, you're not supposed to talk about yourself, but
Yeah, I
backfired
will
on you there.
I will admit
Shots
I drove my safety rating down to dot.
Oh, Corey, I love you to death, buddy. We did have a talk during the show about how you have matured in your driving a little bit. It showed a lot, man. Guys, have they released? Let's move on to another subject real quick. And there's another one Jim brought up. Talk a little bit about next seasons, because it's almost at that point already, guys. We only have a few more weeks left in our season. Of course, we have Phillip Island. Then we go back to that course that everybody loves but me, VIR. And we finish off with the crown jewel of them all, my home track, Road Atlanta. And I love Road Atlanta. And, you know, that is it. And we get ready for our new season, and we have a new build coming up, and we have maybe some new tracks coming, maybe some new vehicles coming. I don't know. I have no clue. Maybe you do. I don't know. We'll talk about it. But I really want to talk about next season's track discussion, or tracks that will be coming up, or that you want or that you don't want, this, that, and the other. And I will let Jim Davey kick this subject off. Take it away, Jim.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to hop out of here soon, so I'll start it off. Yeah. So first, I don't understand why people hate VIR but love Road Atlanta, because they're like identical. The only difference is Road Atlanta, you go off track, you hit a wall. You go off track at VIR, you slide for a half mile, then you hit a wall.
Yeah, but the VIR, it's always cloudy, and I just don't like it.
Have you ever been to Southern Virginia? That's what it is.
I know. I live in beautiful Georgia, where it's just.
The Hesses at VIR. A lot of people really like them. They slow me down way too much. I end up
I
And
having
don't
the
to
like
track
how
is
crash.
just wonderful.
I don't like there's not really curbs at VIR either.
Like
Sure there is.
seriously,
Oh yeah.
seriously, like I'm imagining Virginia as this like rainforesty damp area, and I'm imagining
Nah.
Georgia. I'm
It's
imagining Georgia as just like this arid desert land with
well, see,
maybe
my
a
wife's
few
family's all
houses.
from Southern Virginia, so
Georgia
but
is
it's
gorgeous.
mountains and
Yeah,
beach
you're
and
in the north.
forests.
Yeah, we have everything in Georgia. We have mountains up in North Georgia. We have the beach. We have just beautiful forests with waterfalls, and we have it all here. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. But I'll tell you the honest to God truth. I've been to Virginia, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I don't understand, the clouded issue. I guess that the climate has changed since I went 5 years ago. But
It's actually
Virginia,
normally pretty sunny down there, so I don't know why the
that's what I
weather
was
is
thinking.
always cloudy there, other than the
Yeah,
fact that it makes the racing a lot better.
yeah,
But
and it does that. But and I don't know if I hate it that much. I had a bad experience when we went there last time. I didn't like.
the first like sector 1 of the track is very technical and very difficult because it's a lot of tight corners, it's a lot
Right.
of curbs that you can't hit. But after you get out of that first sector, the rest of the track's wonderful.
So I'll give it
No.
another shot this time around.
You should.
Yeah, well, we'll give it another shot and see.
So yeah, I'm trying to pull up the forum thread, but one of the things that came up when what? Well, I'm losing it now. Well, that's
Now,
already
is
been
there
said.
any rumored? Is it Jim? Is there a
No,
rumored
there's no rumors. There's pretty much
no schedule plan for next season, or is it just total shot in the dark?
it's a shot in the dark. Actually, no. Tony Gardner came out and said, "Hey, when y'all are doing your schedule discussion, Monza should be out by week 3."
Okay, so does that mean we should see it on the schedule?
I would assume so. We just started the discussions 2 days ago. You
So
got
if
the
it's ready by
typical.
week 3, that means we will not be getting it on the new build.
It's probably going to be something like what they tend to do when something is ready close to the build time, is they'll just pop it out right afterwards.
Right.
But I don't think it's going to be during the week 13. I think it'll be a couple weeks after is what he was hinting at.
Okay.
I finally found it. It says if you want to, please feel free to include Monza to be safe if you want it. Place it after week 3 to give us time to adjust or work out any kinks.
Yeah, so that sounds like it's going to be released at the week
Yeah,
13, and then if there's any
sounds like
issues, they'll work them out.
They'll
then.
they'll fix it. Yeah.
Use the placeholder of the GP configuration with no chicanes. So it sounds like there'll be multiple. Oh, hush up. So it sounds like there'll be multiple configurations. Honestly,
Which is great.
in the V8s with no chicanes, that'd probably be awesome.
Yes.
Especially that first chicane's always a debacle. But one of the other things.
That's what everybody was worried about. Everybody piling up was
Yeah,
that first chicane. So without that, that'd be wonderful for starters.
The other big thing that his discussion came up is something that they've been doing in the Star Mazda this season is if you want to suggest a different qualifying format or race start type, that is also fine. I'm pretty sure everybody still wants to do the standing starts, but they're talking about maybe doing the qualifying integrated into the race session.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Bring
what
it on.
we've been
Yeah,
talking
I brought
about that
up
in
a few weeks ago.
Yeah, in the
Dear
post
iRacing, if you are listening to our beloved show right now, my name is JD Smith, and we had a discussion a few weeks back. Maybe you heard it, maybe you didn't. We had this discussion about the Star Mazdas and how they integrated qualifying into the race sessions. We wish to have that here in the V8 Supercar community, and I believe I think I would speak for the majority in that. I would like to think that you guys would like that as well. But my goodness, would it
I
make for
think
some really great
Jim's
broadcasts?
entire paragraph of talking was to say that is what was where the goal was leaning toward. Everybody had said that they'd like to change to that, and he's saying that that's going to be okay, that they can do that.
And that is very happy.
The only small hitch is in the forum, everybody's voting for it to be a solo session.
Well, what that means is you won't. I'm pretty sure it'd be like World Sports Car Series is right now with the solo sessions, where everybody, or the oval side, where you're by yourself on the track, but you have multiple people in the session. So, I mean, the broadcasters can still go through and look at different people, what they're doing, everything else.
They just
really,
can't crash into each other.
exactly. And I think it's a good thing because you don't get interference from a slow driver. You don't get falsified qualifying times from maybe getting an artificial toe up the back straight at Watkins or something like that. And it's just
True.
down to what the driver can do on the track in the weather conditions with his setup, no outside influence. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, as long as the
That's not
broadcast
how
can
road
cover it.
racing's done, though. Especially V8
I
Supercars.
understand.
They're
Somebody
That's a
actually
good
pointed
point
that out.
too. Yeah, I have to. That is a really good point, Kane. That's not how road racing is done, and that brings me to back to what I always, y'all always know my argument. I want the realest product possible. If I want a game, I have that. I own Forza 5. I own these games, and I play them when I want a game. I want the realest product possible when it comes to iRacing, and I agree with Kane in that aspect. I love the fact. In fact, NASCAR has switched. There's no more solo qualifying in NASCAR, and we still have solo qualifying on iRacing. And I really want them to change that and get it just like it is in real world NASCAR, and it is done just like a Formula One qualifying. And I love it.
I think it will. I mean, like I said, it's just one of the options.
Right.
It sounds like you can have the open qualifying just before the session starts. Some chucklehead named Corey Preston put up they wanted to run at Talladega. I don't know what the heck that guy was thinking. But he also put down Lime Rock Park, which I think is a great track, especially in the V8. We ran
Yes.
it a couple years ago. We ran it.
Oh, we
for
ran
one
it
or
just
two
a couple
seasons.
seasons ago, and it
was
was great
great.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well there you go. It's a lot of fun on the V8.
Tell you
I
another
think
track that produced good results was Okayama.
It
Oh, yeah,
does.
it does
as long as the
every
weather's
time we go
right,
there.
because that could be a beast if the weather's wrong.
Yeah, yeah, the weather's a big factor. That's really at any track, but yeah, man, Lime Rock, Okayama, those would be great tracks.
So yeah, Monza should be out next season. They're talking about changing the qualifying to be just before the start of the race. But it's up to the series kind of coordinators, I guess you could say, to decide what they want to do. It looks like you could even do rolling starts versus standing starts versus whatever. I think it should all be standing starts in the V8
I
at
do
least.
too. I have to say this: if we're doing a request for tracks next season, I really would like to see return of Watkins Glen. I really missed it this season. I know it's something that we have a lot, so it's like, okay, it's okay if we miss it a season or two, but that always produces some of the best racing all season. I always look forward to that race, and I accepted it this season because we were able to run at Sonoma on the Cup configuration, and so I was like, okay, it's okay we don't have the Glen, but I really would like to get the Glen back. Just y'all. You have to agree,
See,
y'all
I'm
run
just the
so
opposite.
well there.
I love the Glen and the racing that we have there, but we didn't
I
have
do
the Glen
too.
this year, and we have had just as good a races everywhere else. And we've got a couple new tracks coming up, so if we don't get it, I'm cool because the racing has increased so good. We're having those great races at most tracks.
Well, my argument is that the racing has gotten so good at all the other tracks. Well, my gosh, what do you think we're gonna have at the Glen? It's gonna be epic.
If it was the boot with the bus stop, then yeah, it could be good.
Yes,
GT3's running it this week.
I don't want the classic. I want I want the one with the bus stop. I want the bus stop. You have to have the bus stop. You can't run the classic or whatever it's called. You have to run. I can't remember the name of the configuration right now. The one we normally run, not with the boot, just the Cup one, the same one that the NASCAR runs.
You need to do the boot, not the classic boot.
Right.
You need to do the full boot with the bus stop.
No.
Otherwise, it's the Talladega of road racing, and it's just
And
boring.
we should have Talladega. I
Shut
love
up! You're going to get Corey on your side.
I actually think we should actually go to a track like USA Speedway.
Oh, heck no.
That would be a disaster, Corey. And I see the novelty in it, but when you talk about a real race that counts for points, that would be a disaster. Now I could see if you're going to do a track like that, I would say do something like a Richmond. That would be the smallest oval track that I would put a V8 on. Richmond would actually support a decent race, I think. It's the smallest I would put, say, V8 on, and say that we could have a successful run on it.
Yeah,
Ah.
I don't think doing oval with the V8 is real good. If you want to do oval, go do NASCAR.
There you go.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I would.
Gotta say,
I'm
going
with
back
you.
to the qualifying real quick, is I think it was Fulcher. Was it Fulcher? Yeah, Fulch put up a poll in the forum and with various options for qualifying, and the majority, 138 votes, 31%, which is the majority, is a 10-minute solo session. So people are kind of leaning towards having solo, maybe at least for the first season of it, just to see how it kind of goes out.
Man, I really, really would like to see everybody out there, though.
I'd love to see everybody qualifying in an open session just before the race at Monza, with everybody yelling and screaming about
In
the
the
first
same
chicane,
session
with
as
the
the race.
Right, with people yelling and screaming at each other about the first chicane and people coming in their hot lap, the pit lane exits right there. Oh, it would be hilarious.
Now, I'm glad that a lot of y'all tell me this. I love the new cars, and I believe that y'all like them too. But I have one issue with them, and the fuel tanks are just too big. I like to keep them big, but can we limit the fuel or something? I want more pit stops. I want that aspect brought back in the race. I understand that some people don't want to increase the race length. Well, can we limit the fuel? Can we
I
do
know it's been
something?
talked about before, but I don't think you can without actually updating the car itself. It's kind of the feeling I get.
They can't just put a limiter on the amount of fuel that can be entered into the car for a session. Because I know that
I'm
you
not
can.
sure. I know you can in hosted, yeah. But
That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't.
But I'm saying, couldn't iRacing set it up for the entire season? Say these guys can only run 70% fuel, or
I think they're trying to get it as close to V8s. Like, I mean, that's sort of how it is in the V8s. But I mean, I think the best way to fix that issue is to run longer races.
Which isn't really. I mean, the problem with that to me.
I want longer races, but I know everybody else doesn't.
This is still a C license car. I mean, it's
I
not
know.
really set up for long races, and
This
you
car
don't.
has no business being a C license car.
Oh, I'll agree with that. It should be a B class car. It's a lot harder to drive than the GT3s. But I mean, it's what do you really get out of the longer races with pit stops? You get maybe one or two position changes just because someone messes up, but it doesn't really change anything in the end normally.
It makes
From the
more
broadcast,
excitement.
from the broadcast side,
Yes.
it adds some drama.
Should be
And
a
it adds a form of realism. When I watch a V8 Supercar race, I watch a V8 Supercar team tackle a race. I watch the driver who has to think about tactics and how he's going to manage his race. It's not just how much in time he can shave off a lap. There's so much more to racing than just a heat run. Now, understand, every now and again, a heat run is just fine, but I like to bring in that strategy of the race. I like, even when we had to worry about fuel saving, I liked that, even if we didn't have a pit stop, but just knowing that we all can run flat out and we'll make it with no problem. It's okay, a couple times a season, but I would like to see that pit stop factor be brought in more than just 2 or 3 races in a 12-week season. And I think that there's some other drivers out there that feel the same way that I do. I understand that it's another area. If you're a driver, it's another place for fault. But you have to understand, all the drivers have to go through that, not just that one. So I just think it adds a level of realism, and I get to watch these pit stops in every race, and we have multiple pit stops in the NASCAR iRacing series or the Pro Series, whatever, and I understand that's oval side. I do understand that, but boy, does it make a difference in those races. It really brings up the excitement level. We get a chance to talk to crew chiefs and get to talk about race strategies. We get to talk about a whole lot more than just what's happening on the track at the moment. And it makes for a lot of excitement. And I know that I'm speaking from a broadcaster point of view and not a driver point of view. I understand that. But, man, it does make it exciting.
I gotta say,
Yeah,
though,
like,
in
I will.
contrast to that, you've got the oval races are so long where you can have different fuel strategies.
Which is great.
whereas,
Why can't we have longer road races?
Because
Are
I don't
y'all
think people
just
stick
scared?
around.
Or do y'all have more to do? What is it? Well, how come oval
It's
guys that y'all make fun of say, how come they can run long races but we can't in the roadside?
all right, it's going to sound mean, but first off, going back to league I've been running in, the Grossim League, where they do 1 hour races every week, you're just drained after that hour running the V8, which is good. Whereas I'm going to sound mean, and people are going to say, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." I did run ovals for a lot back last year. The oval races, you just turn left. I know there's a lot of thinking involved, but physically, you just turn the car left. You might fight it a little bit on the exit, whereas in the V8, you're fighting the car constantly.
I call. Luckily, it's a family show. Or I'd call BS.
No, there is a
have
lot of
you?
point to that. I've
No.
raced long road races,
Have
and
you
I've raced long
ever?
NASCAR races. But the
Have you
the
ever
fact of the matter
seen?
is my mic not working?
No, you're working.
Okay.
Carry on, sir.
The fact of the matter is that one that you're talking about is the NASCAR iRacing series. It's marketed as being half of the NASCAR length. It's marketed to be a very long race, and that's why we get multiple pit stops. The V8 Supercar series is
I
your
understand that.
standard short series of the week, like every other series, the average series, and if any of the other series gets a pit stop, it's just one pit stop. So that's why we won't see many pit stops in these series. Now, they're in the Road Warrior series, which is like the NASCAR series. There's
But
many of them that will have multiple pit stops.
right, and I understand what you're saying, but my point is, and a very valid point, when we started covering this series, we had a lot more pit stops than we did, and the races weren't necessarily longer. The older car had a smaller fuel tank, and I think that it provided for more strategy in the races. And you can't tell me that they weren't, because we were a part of them and we enjoyed them.
Yeah, and they're fun.
It did. I mean, it depended on when. Oh, sorry, Kane, but it depended on when someone got new tires, and that would help them out some. But going back, was it last week we did the Daytona 24, a week before?
Yeah.
I ran 3 hours straight in the HPD, and I got up, I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. I can do whatever. Whereas running the Grossim for an hour, I'm like, I need a break. I need to sit down. The V8 is just so much more demanding. It's just running longer races, I don't think is fair to the participants. And it just, I don't know, this car, it's a lot
V8
more fun to
Supercars
run.
in real life. Sorry to interrupt you, Jim. I just realized I
Yeah,
just did that
go
to you.
ahead.
But in real life, V8 Supercars is not a real long race each week. They're usually short little races.
They're about 50 laps to 70 laps. We ran 25 tonight. I'm just saying, I'm not asking for us to run full-length races here. All I'm asking for is to limit the fuel, because I even started my argument out by saying, if you don't want to extend the races, that's fine. But let's limit the fuel. If you can't do that, then let's extend the race. And we don't have to extend it a lot. Just extend it from 25 laps to 35 laps.
Then you start running into a whole bunch of it's a lot, yeah. You also start running into fuel saving races then, which pretty much everybody that actually runs them hates.
Oh, I love them as a broadcaster though. They make it so sweet.
That's my only argument, and that's why I led with I'm talking as a broadcaster, not as a driver. And that's why I made that statement, because I know as a driver, of course, you don't want to have to deal with that. It's just more fault. It's more areas for mess up, and you don't want to have to deal with it. I'm just saying, for more exciting races, and I guess that's why we have the Premier Series, which is wonderful and exciting, and love it. and really excited about that coming back. But I love this series. I love the America series, and I love covering it. I think it's a wonderful series. And I watched an episode we did a few weeks back where I talked about how I feel like this is home and all that, and that's 100% true. And the only thing, whenever I bring stuff up like this, it's only because I want to see this series continue to grow. I want to continue to see it be. I feel like this series could be the best of the best. I know when we first got in this, it was all about that Monday night series, and this was just kind of another series, a standby. But at the point in time where we're at right now, this series to me is just as big as that Monday series, and as the Australian time slot. And I think a lot of that has to do with just the great people that we've had here, and the great racing. I mean, look at the finish tonight. Look at the action out on the track tonight. It was absolutely stunning, and a lot of things contribute to that. And I just want to continue to see it get better and better. That's all. That's the only thing I'm just saying. These are just opinions. I like the fact of having that pit stop once in a while, more than just 2 or 3 times a season. That's all.
Yeah,
I think
and
it adds a lot.
I would love to see a couple more pit stop races as well. But
And see, there we go. We're agreeing in that aspect. So
Yeah, but see, I'm going to chime in here, and I'll say like the race lengths that we have now. Just say if they did limit the fuel, they would probably end up limiting it to somewhere like 80, 75, 70 litres, and that brings us right back to where we were in the last couple of seasons of the old car fuel savers, which last. And if we run the fuel tank size that we had in the old car, the last 5 weeks would have been fuel savers.
what about this? What about? Don't worry about the fuel limit. Don't limit the fuel. What about informing? And I just read this from Michael Cracknell's statement down there, and I like this. Why don't they just implement mandatory pit stops?
I don't think you can in the iRacing software. I mean,
I'm
leads
saying
to it,
in the
but I think it's
future-
afterwards.
Right.
Yeah, I
in
think-
the future they could implement it though. They could write it in.
yeah, I think that
All
could
you
be
would have to
something
do-
that we could see in the future is compulsory pit stops.
Well, we could have
All
the
they would have to
Volvo
do
in the
was-
future too.
I think you're right, Kane. I think that is something that they could do, and that'd be pretty cool. I like that. I'm glad that Michael typed that down there because I don't know why the entire time we talked about that I didn't even think about. Oh well, they could implement mandatory pit
Well,
stops.
Sorry, Ethan. What was that you were saying?
I was going to say, all you have to do to implement mandatory pit stops is you just have to modify the black flag code a little. And
There you
you'd
go.
have it right there.
There you go. Ethan Griggault, the winner of tonight's race, has the solution. We're going to send him over to iRacing. We're going to get that zapped in there for 2 extra races next year. That way we have 5 pit stop races and 7 non-pit stop races. And JD's happy. The racers are happy. The community's happy. And we all can go on happily ever after.
And all we have to do is convince iRacing to just write a new code.
That's it. That's all we
That's
got to
all.
do. And according to Ethan, it's not that hard, right, Ethan?
I can't write code myself, but that's just what I thought up, I guess.
Ethan, you do code?
Oh,
No,
no,
he said he don't.
No,
Oh,
I
I think he does. But say, I think we know who's about to help us on our new website. But no, that's cool, man. And jumping on that, it's a good subject. Glad we brought it up, and just looking forward to the future, man. But this season has been amazing, guys. I don't want to by saying this stuff, I don't want anybody out there to think that I'm taking away from
With
the
no pit
series.
stops.
Right. Well, I don't want anybody to think I'm taking away from anything in this season because this season has been one of the best we've ever had. It has been unbelievable from race 1 to what you saw tonight. Really, really good season. We may have had to put up a special highlight reel at the end of the season of just the entire season as a whole. It's been awesome. But anyways, I know it's kind of getting late. We've been on the show for quite a while here in the Get Dirty MX post-race show. Does anybody have anything special that they would like to bring up this week?
No.
All right. Well, if that is the case, guys, we will get ready to move along for next week. Remember, next week we go to the legendary Phillip Island, and boy, is it always a treat when we go there. 23 laps from a standing start it will be, and I'm really, really looking forward to that action. And it'll be right here at the same place, same time next week. That's 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. And it's always on Friday nights for your V8 Supercar America's action. We want to congratulate Ethan Grigg-Galt on a victory here tonight in his very first broadcast appearance. The first time we've ever seen somebody win on their debut race. That is a big accomplishment right there from Ethan. We look for big things from him in the future. And big things to come next week. So without further ado, I'm JD Smith, Kane Craft with me tonight. Also Jim Davey joining in. And we'll be back next week as we head to Phillip Island. Y'all have a great night.
Contact free! Close, contact free!
Muggleton just has to cross over this crest. He will cross the line and will win the championship.